Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to your weekly intuitive read with me, Crystal. Similar to that, pick a card, pick a stone. This week, pick a bird. The intention behind these reads are to better align you to that of higher self. When we're grounded, in tune, living in the moment, are we better equipped to tune into our intuition, getting the downloads so that we can create a new future, being receptive to our soul's journey. And that's the whole point behind these. So do take your time. Please look over the pictures, the birds, and go to the one that your intuition is pulling you to. As always, I have the timestamps below. And without any further ado, let's get to your guys' weekly reading. To the group that chose the pink flamingo, I spread out your cards, I've meditated. I think I have a grasp of the potential distress, obstacle, barrier that you may be facing currently. Our underlying influence, the underlying energies, is that of the Two of Cups. It's a clear indicator to me that it's associated to that of a close relationship, an intimate relationship. Now, normally we would think of intimate being that of the romantic partner, but that does not necessarily need to be true. It could be that to a really dear friend, that of you and a child. It's a relationship, one of significance. So, what is the problem? The next card, the heart of the spread, is the Five of Pentacles. What's interesting is I'm using the ViceVersa, which I absolutely love, because I can tell quite a bit of a story and it lets me tap into my intuition a little bit more. Here we see a man in the church. He's in quite distress, but he's in warmth and he's sheltered. If we were to look in the reverse, there's a peasant and he's outside and bears a cloth. This immediately tells me that whatever is plaguing you right now, it could be much worse, as most of our problems always can be. Furthermore, he's in his head, he's holding his head, something he can't shake. What's the crossing? Is our devil, the little devil, the temptations, the codependencies. Our vices, our weakness. Something that must have to correlate to you and another. Something's got you up in the middle of the night. Something's got you up in your head, despite what everything else and what everybody else sees around you. So my question, what is this really about? We have the Seven of Cups, which can usually indicate delusion, confusion, or too many options. And maybe that is what is conflicting you right now. How do you handle this? How do you handle whatever is in your head, the temptations, the vices? What route is best for you? And maybe even that you're considering for your partner, whoever that may be. Again, here, however, we see a spirit in the middle of it. Seems to be a good indicator for your circumstance. Should we be reversed? Well, there's this confusion. Where do I go? I take this as Spirit's got your back. Spirit is ready to lead you to the right cup, to the right decision, to the right choice, to the right road. However, the only way we can do that is by silencing our mind, calming the chaos in our head, and listening intuitively, which means we have to calm the beast, which would be represented and the Two of Swords. Interesting enough, again, if you look at it this side, there's chaos, there's the rage, there's the storms, there's the clouds, there's the tidal waves, there's the lightning. But you, my friend, had it on this side, which is asking for you to calm the storm. Yes, you have a hard decision ahead of you, it appears. But I think Spirit is ready to help you. But first, you've got to be able to tap in. Calm the beast and listen. Furthermore, as we continue to read, the next card that follows signals a sign of hope, something that you may not see. And I think Spirit would like you to tune in. It's a page, excuse me, not the page, it's the Ace of Pentacles. There's something solid, but I don't think it's reached you yet. As I zoom in on this energy, whether it's in front of you or not, you haven't looked up to see it, or it hasn't arrived yet. Oh, but Spirit's on its way to help you, or is setting up things in the background to deliver you a new way, a new opportunity to overcome this, whatever this may be, whatever this obstacle is. But you just gotta tame this beast. Be patient and wait. What can you do while you wait? And when this opportunity arises, whether it's already in front of you and you're just blind to it, or it's still manifesting in the making, Spirit's got your back. It comes with a Page of Pentacles. A clear indication of a new way, a new path that's being made for you. Furthermore, if it's coming from Spirit, we have to believe that it's the best for all involved. Assuming that this is in correlation to that of an intimate relationship, whatever that may be, friend, romance, colleague or friend, or parental guidance. I just don't know that you've seen it yet. If there was one clear indication of this reading, it would be to settle the mind. In order to overcome our beasts, we have to tap into that of our higher intuition, to what does Spirit want us to see, to hear. What's the best cup? What's the best option to take? Because there's definitely something new that's being presented or making its way towards you. Be patient. It's the first thing that rings to me. Be patient and keep connection with Spirit. To finish out your guys' read, we've pulled an oracle card. For you, it was moving toward the light. Let's see if I can read this at the same time. Each stage of our lives is a bridge to inner transformation. When we go through the stages with resistance and anger, we slow down our progress and can feel stuck where we are. By trying to find the light in our challenges and looking at them from a more positive perspective, we move through them faster and evolve. Make an effort to embrace your current challenges by identifying what you can learn and move towards the light. Your guys' affirmation for this week: I find a hidden blessing in each of my challenges. I am forever transforming, evolving, and progressing along my path. I do hope this helps. It's not, while you're dealing with some conflicting energies, it doesn't all look that bad. Definitely looks like Spirit's on your side. Keep your connection solid. Keep an open gate. And know something is on its way for you. That will, when it comes from Spirit, will be the best for all involved. I have so much love. And until next week, namaste. To the group that chose the owl, I've laid your spread. I have had to really settle into this, to the energies, to what Spirit and guides have to say about this, because it is both beautiful and comes as a cautionary and a paradoxical upheaval all at once. The underlying influence, the underlying energy is the Hermit. It's a very beautiful card, and one of the first things we notice is that there's a golden egg. There, to me, you've stumbled across something quite valuable. Furthermore, if I study this card, there's blue that's on his cloak. Blue signifying a spirituality. A spiritual truth? A spiritual nugget, egg that you've stumbled across? We go to the heart of your spread, and it further clarifies. We have the Ace of Swords. What's interesting is the man holding the sword is wearing blue, as is the Hermit. A clear indication that you have received a spiritual awareness, a download, the nugget of wisdom, clarity, a gift that has been bestowed upon you of a new awareness. But it doesn't stop there, because also the Six of Wands came out. We see in this card there's victory, but it wasn't without the shed of blood. There was war, and there was smoke and probably fire. The truth you have come to didn't come easily. You've been through hell and back. What crosses you is the Queen of Swords, but that in reverse. There's more blue, signifying spiritual awareness. Within these crystals would hold more wisdom. But what is wisdom but without experience? Events, wars, battles. The overcoming, the triumphing over past endeavors that once probably could have broke you, but you survived. The cautionary about this, though, with it being in reverse, is there bitterness that still lingers? While you've rose victorious and now have the new understanding and knowledge, I ask, are you as quick to forgive or to understand another? Where they're coming from, what perception they may have? Or have you lacked less than anything but, are you anything but tolerant of less than? As a challenging factor that crosses you. So I ask, what is this really about? Is it that you've gone through hell and back, and now is that you've raised the standards? Maybe a little silver tongue? that you just don't tolerate shit, if you will. What comes out is the Three of Cups. It's very interesting because there's 2 cups that are filled and a cup that she is offering to the sky, to the divine. Being receptive to more knowledge, receptive to fill her cup from spirit. This is a very spiritual reading, guys. And once you've had the taste of truth, you can't help but want more. And maybe that's where you're at, is asking how to overcome this. But you are receptive. And it appears that you're asking. So is it possible that the spread, this week's read, is trying to guide you to a potential answer? What follows and what's being asked is what's really wrong with all of this? Comes the judgment. The judgment is usually extremely beautiful. I love the judgment card. It's about a time of reevaluation. It's similar to the justice, but with a different spin. I perceive it almost like that of the karmic lessons. Karmic lessons being the things that are within us, and if we've learned to evolve through it, we graduate. So I ask, while you have rose victoriously from this, whatever it was, while you have the nugget of truth and you have the downloads, and the new understanding, is it possible that you have yet to truly forgive, though? To recognize that everybody's on their own spiritual path and awareness. I may not see it, I like you. Forgiveness doesn't mean that we necessarily go back or condone another's behavior, but that we rise above it and no longer allow it to affect us, only to hold the seed of wisdom and a newfound awareness of discernment for new interactions that are ahead. Not to judge it based on heuristic judgments, but to feel in with our intuition. Is it possible? That's the transition, the last piece to your victorious, bestowed new truth. I ask, because the next fallen card is the Six of Pentacles. However, what's interesting is we see a gentleman looking down upon a village. Now, the Six of Pentacles is about equal give and take. However, when somebody's looking down upon you, there's a condescending energy about that. And when somebody gives, is it truly giving if you expect something in return? When we give from our heart, blessings come from spirit in many other ways. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be with that person. Are you maybe at that point where if you give, you expect something in return for that equal give and take? Do you feel maybe that you're above everybody else? And I say this with tenderness. Something to radically look at in pure honesty within yourself. And if this reading's for you, I think you can. Because there's no doubt that you're connected to spirit. Maybe they're asking you to look at it from maybe a different perspective. And the role and the accountability that you play in all of this. What's interesting, as we polish this off, is the next 2 cards about what you can do. We have the Two of Pentacles. If you see this, though, he's performing on the street, and he has people watching. Watching your talents, watching what you bring, watching your every move, and how you proceed. And if that wasn't enough, another card fell out with it, which is our Page of Swords. He's known in the traditional tarot as our spy. A full indication that whatever you're doing, people are watching. Somebody, someone's, all that are around you. Meditating and trying to understand this message. And all that is correlated. There's a quote, though I will butcher it. I'm going to try. It's about your character. And to stand with an integrity. That everything you do, both in front of people and when nobody's watching, should it be in alignment. Because people are watching, whether you're aware of it or not. Someone's have their eye on you. Be careful to act in integrity through response rather than reaction. Bestow your talents. Don't hold any of that back. But be wary of how you proceed. I'm just going to put it at that. For your guidance, we had 2 oracle cards fall out. There's a lot to be said in this message, so I feel that it's necessary to read both of them. The first card that came out was the Here and Now, and the message behind it. You spend a lot of time dwelling on events in your past and worrying about how the future may unfold. This card serves as a reminder that the only moment that counts is now. So, return your focus to this present moment and be mindful of letting your thoughts drift away in the past or the future. Be conscious of your thoughts as they create your reality in every now moment. The affirmation that follows the card: I live in the here and now, always conscious of my activity, presence within the universe and my work on earth. I choose to live in the present moment. I am aware of what I create with my thoughts, my words, my deeds. I trust, for I know that all comes to me at the right moment, when I am ready. The other card that fell out, which may be significant to some of you, is power. As challenging as life may seem to you right now, trust that you have the power and strength to get through the present obstacles and reach a new chapter of greater peace and harmony that awaits you just around the corner. Try to keep a positive outlook and not be disheartened by recent events. You are about to tap into an enormous reservoir of power within you that will help you navigate these tough times and come out stronger and wiser. And your affirmation: I am master of my life and perfectly at one with the universe. My thoughts are pure, loving, and positive. I believe in myself, and I know that with God I can do anything. I now draw upon this new power within me, and I go through this growing phase with ease. I know this one's a bit longer than it normally is for everybody's, but there's a lot to be said. Through our radical honesty and understanding, we can rise above. You have risen above. You have a knowledge. You are connected with spirit. Tap in with the here and now. Act within your integrity. Know that somebody's watching you. Act as the role model. With the understanding and the knowledge that everybody is on a different path. And that's okay. I have so much love with you. So much love for you. Until next week. Namaste. To the group that chose the duck. I'm going to a chapel and I'm gonna get married. I don't know how that song goes, and I don't even know if that's the right lyrics, but there's something like that comes to me. And that's what it kind of screams as I first began to lay out your spread. However, this is a general reading, and it actually can signify something a bit more deeper than that. Though there is a lot of telltale signs. So let's get to it. The underlining energy is that of the Nine of Wands. Now, what's interesting about it? It's a man that's been through battle. And there's a woman that awaits him. Beckoning him to her. They both look like they have been through a war. They have both undergone heavy burdens. And nines represent the ends, the ending of something, right before a new. This is the underlining energy. What's very significant about this is that the heart of the spread comes the Four of Wands. What I'd like to point out is that this woman is the same as this one here. And we could presume he may be the warrior. Regardless, these women are the same. Four of Wands represents celebration, marriage, joyce, something to celebrate. We see a dove and we see a ram's head, representing contrasts, a balance, a harmony, of good versus bad, light versus dark, a union of the two different forces. What crosses is the Two of Cups. Immediately, it screams a wedding to me. And it's not a shallow wedding, but if it's not a wedding, it's a celebration of two people, as we see here, here, and here. A couple of swords. And while my readings are not very representative of that of romantic relations, can't deny what is being called. This relationship has endured very many trying times. It hasn't been easy. And it seems that you guys have overcome. And if it isn't with the relationship, could it be with that of the masculine and feminine within you? Take it as it resonates. But so far, overall, it seems to be pretty strong. Furthermore, we get the Six of Pentacles. We see 6 elements on the back of his cape. The 7th would be represented in the discs of that of sun and gold. So the Six of Pentacles is about equal give and take. It's about equality. It's about balance. Furthermore, he's looking into that of a sunrise, sunset, the dawn, the light. See, things seem to be good. But, as everything, there's always got to be some kind of contrast, right? What follows in placement of what is really wrong, what's wrong with this whole picture, comes the moon. It's interesting in the side because we see an eclipse. Furthermore, the moon, which in the tarot, which represents that of the Cancer, and our Cancerian friends are very psychic, which is perfect for the woman that bestows, who is the high priestess. She's very psychic, very intuitive. Though with the eclipse, it reveals shadows. She holds two things. That which is a bowl of the sea, which to me signifies the depths of the waters, the depths of the unknown. On the other hand, a beaming light, a higher awareness, acknowledgement, connection to soul. Are you tapped into your psychic abilities? Are you using your psychic abilities? Are you in tune? There's something that concerns you. And I think it has to do something with this contrast. But I think you have the answer. And if I was going to use my intuition to ask, what is it that hinders you? What comes next is the Nine of Swords. And I can't help but relate it to the underlying energies of the Nine of Wands. The battles. Now, when we think about battles, they don't come easy. My intuition immediately goes to if this is regards to that of a significant relationship of some sorts. What are the battles that were overcome and triumphed? Was there addictions that are leaving you in fear of potential relapses? You can't have a war without conflict. What was the conflicting energy? And what is it that you fear may rebirth, come back, leaves you up in the middle of the night? God knows the war you guys went through was hell. No way I would want to go back to that battlefield. I wouldn't blame you. It was hard. May have left you in a lot of nights of depression, upheaval. What's interesting about this card, though, is that the man who sits behind the Nine Swords is also in the perfect position where the light of the sun sheds on him. Looking into the light. Contrast of the dark and the light. Worst case scenario, a fear. Is there a fear that whatever you've been through will reapproach? Because right now it seems that everything is in your favor, aligning for you. But not everything is as it seems. And we both know that. You definitely know that. I didn't think I mentioned it, but in her being naked, it's also a huge significance to being vulnerable. Being vulnerable can be very scary as well. It's to lay yourself out on the line for all. And hopes that your heart won't be torn. So what's the outcome? What would Spirit like you to know? And amongst all of this comes the King of Pentacles. Now we see the backside of him. If we turn it around, we see a man who holds his pinnacle. He's amongst foliage, flowers. He's well-to-do. He's got more than enough to offer him and his kingdom. So what does the backside represent? I can't help but feel like it's a call to look, one, where does he find the strength? We have an ox. I think that's an ox. Who represents the strength, right? Steadfast. You've got the strength to get yourself through whatever it is. But what's even more interesting So the King of Pentacles holds a watermelon behind. And to me, this represents a large indication of making sure you take care of yourself. Relationships are great, but you can only give when your cup is overflowed. Have you given too much of yourself? Maybe it's time to come back, to come center, to tap into the high priestess that you are, man or female, your intuitive side. Make sure you take care of your needs so that you can be more grounded for whatever that is plaguing you right now. And this is coming in right now. Like, while it's great to have a partner in crime, partner in everything we do, it's also still very healthy to take you time. To do things for you. Right? The balance. The oracle that was pulled for you is fulfillment. A sense of fulfillment often comes from the realization of a dream or the meeting of a goal you had set for yourself. Reflect on what it is you need right now in order to experience fulfillment. Create a vision in your mind of what you would most like to achieve today, this week, this year. Then take action, no matter how small a step it might be, in the direction of your dreams. Your affirmation. My projects become the perfect fulfillment of myself in harmony with the universe. I believe in myself and in my potential as a creator. I make my dreams come true. I fulfill myself through my daily actions, through unconditional love, faith, wisdom, and positive thinking. So be it. Self-fulfillment, self-love, ensuring your cup is overfilled so that you can be better equipped to serve your relationships. Something I think is strange. It undoubtedly could be the underlying energy. If there was any advice, take time for you this week. I have so much love. I hope this helps. Until next week, namaste.